Hi friends, today you're going to need pages 143 through 147, and that might sound like a lot, but remember that we made some rulers and stuff last Wednesday, and so 143 through 147 really means 143, 144, and page 147. Yeah, so we're going to do those 3 pages today. You will also need a ruler. And remember, you made this ruler as well. So look at that, it's the same length. You can use this ruler if you want to, or you can use this ruler. I'm gonna continue to use my ruler like this, but you will also need your yardstick. Your yardstick is the one that has the inches on it. It's the super duper long one that's made with the inches. So the inches are the bigger measurement right there like that. So make sure you gather those things, pause if you need to, and then come back. So I'm gonna start working on page 143 first. I'm gonna read it with you. Hey guys! I'm gonna start working on page 143 first, and then we're just gonna work through these pages. Usually I would do this in class with you, but I thought this was a good Wednesday activity because it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. The only difference between what we were doing before and what we're doing now is we're working with inches instead of centimeters. So when we look at our ruler, we've talked about how this is the side that we're going to use to measure on, usually. So this is centimeters. These over here are inches. There are 12 inches in a foot, and a ruler is 1 foot long. And so as we're measuring today, it's important that you're looking at this side of the ruler, not this side. So for me, I have to make sure that I turn the ruler to make sure that it always measures like that. If you choose to use this one, both sides are only inches. So if you get confused about which one to use, this may be a better one for you to choose. All right, it says to measure to the nearest inch, place the 0 mark on your ruler at the left end of the object. Find the inch mark that is closest to the right end of the object. So if we practice right here, that means we're going to put the 0 right there, and then we can see how far it measures. So this one right here, it's about 2.5. So if we look at this, once again, we have those big dashes. The biggest ones measure the full inch. The mid-sized ones measure the 1/2 inch, and then the next down is the 1/4 inch, and so on and so forth. We're probably going to be paying attention mostly to the full inch, the 1/2 inch, and maybe the 1/4 inch, but I don't know about that one just yet. So, all right, so let's go ahead and remember to pause when you need to pause. When I'm going too fast for you, you can pause at any point, and you can rewind as you need to. But I'm just probably going to cruise, and I want you to make sure that you're using your ruler and you're doing your measurement. You're not just copying the things down that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and put my ruler right here. Oh, it looks like we are going to look at that. And it does say measure to the nearest inch. So our little feather stops right here. Is it closer to 1 inch or closer to 2 inches? I think it's closer to 2 inches. And so I am going to go ahead and write 2 in. We write 2, the in means inches. The other thing you can do to write inches is put like quotation marks. That also means inches. If you do just a single one, that means foot. So we don't want to do that. If you want to make the inches like that, you can, or you can write in. Let's go ahead and measure this leaf. Go ahead and tell me what that is closest to. Yeah, well, that one is 3 inches. The next one, this pine cone, see how I'm just moving it down? I'm not taking it off and putting it over here, so I have to readjust it every time. I just kind of slide it down. What is that one closest to? Right, this is 4 inches. It's a little less than 4 inches, but just for the purpose of this activity, we're not worrying about exact measurement. That's why we are doing some estimation. Now it says draw a horizontal line that is 2 inches long. Remember, horizontal is going across like the horizon. So a 2-inch long horizontal line. Remember to put your end marks on it and label it. And then 6 inches long. Okay, so when you're done, this page should look like this. This is not the page that I'm going to ask you to take a picture of, since we did this 100% together. All right, this is the page that I am probably going to want to see. Pardon me. So it's telling you to measure certain parts of your body. So your measurements are going to be different than my measurements. It says, describe a part of your hand that measures about 2 inches. So for this, I'm going to take my ruler and find a part of my hand that measures about 2 inches. For me, that is my thumb. For you, it will not be your thumb, because you are not a grown-up, and so your hands are not as big as my hand. Now it says, describe a part of your hand that measures about 1 inch. 1 inch. Ooh, let's see. So the second segment of my finger is 1 inch. So the second segment of my finger. Now for you, that might be your thumb. Your thumb might be about 1 inch long. Probably not. Describe a part of your hand that measures about 6 inches. So you notice that I'm just moving the ruler around, trying to find a part of my hand. Oh, and look at that. I found from my pinky all the way down to the heel of my hand. So I'm going to say heel to pinky tip. All right, so that part, you're going to have unique things written down. And then now I know you know how to measure this. So go ahead and measure that one. Oh, it says estimate. So that means make a guess for how long that is. I'm going to guess that that's about 3 inches. That I'm going to guess is 5 inches. And then I would go back and measure them. And then it says find 4 classroom objects that you can measure in inches and then in centimeters. Choose 2 objects with a length between 12 inches and 24 inches and complete the table. So I'm going to go ahead, and of course you are not in the classroom, so you're going to have to just use things that you have around your workspace. So I am going to measure my tape. So the first thing I'm going to do is say tape. I'm going to say that it's probably about 3 inches. And now I'm going to measure it. Well, I was right. So it was 3 inches. Now it says to measure it in centimeters. It is 8 centimeters. Let's see, what else do I have right around me that I can grab real quick? I'll grab my scissors. So I'm going to write scissors. And I'm going to go ahead and say they're probably 9 inches. That's just my guess. Now when I measure it, oh, I was wrong, but I was close. It's 8 inches, and in centimeters, it is 21 centimeters. Now it says choose 2 objects with a length between 12 and 24 inches. That means I need to find something a little bit longer. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab this book right here. So this is the math book that I use to teach. And because it's a longer thing, I will need to use my yardstick. So look at that. Oh, it's exact. I forgot to do my guess. I was going to say my guess was 13 inches. So whoops, I forgot my math book. and my guess was 13 inches. It was 12 inches, and for centimeters, I guess that is 30 centimeters. And remember, we also have this meter stick that we can use to measure our centimeters. That's how we made those. All right, I'm looking for one more thing that I think is longer. That's between 12 and 24 inches. What do I have around in my workspace that I can measure? Let's see. Oh, this is kind of a weird thing, but it'll work. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that this is 6, so it's a lid. It's a box lid. I'm gonna guess that it's, I'll say 18 inches. Now I'm gonna take my yardstick. I'm gonna measure it. Oh, it's 17 inches. I was wrong. And now I'm gonna look and see how many centimeters long this is. Start with the 1 and go up, and it's 45 centimeters. All right. This is the page I want you to copy. Take a picture of page 144, and 144 will be the page that you take a photograph of and share with me on Seesaw. But we are not done measuring stuff. On page 147, it says find each length to the nearest foot. Okay, so width of your desk, that is dependent on what you're working at. So you might be measuring your kitchen table. You might be measuring your desk in your room. So that depends on you. Length of from your knee to your ankle. Find each length, the height of the door, like this could be your bedroom door. The length of a bookshelf. If you don't have a bookshelf, you can use the table your TV sits on. Measure each length to the nearest foot and the nearest yard. The width of your classroom door. Well, that's going to be the door. The length of the classroom board. What should we say instead of classroom board, since you don't have that? How about your TV? And then we've already done this, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so you're gonna do this on your own. This is the page that I want to see, all right? Thank you guys.